Hello, everyone.
Hi there.
Hello.
Good afternoon, everybody. Everybody watching. Wow, we have already people here. Thank you all for. Yes. We have. Can you see? Can you see people? Sorry, because I am listening myself with a backup. How is the audio for you, Julio?
It's perfect.
Perfect. Okay. We have here Professora Débora, Vitor Castello already here. Well, guys, thank you for joining us this afternoon. I'm here to talk to these two wonderful, important people in our community. First, I would like to introduce Erica Vieitas. Erica has been an ELT professional for over 10 years. She has worked as a teacher, coordinator, and teacher training, sharing her passion for education with institutions such as Centro Britânico, Cultura Inglesa, and others. She is also a web designer and ELT management consultant. Julio Vieitas has been teaching English as a foreign language for almost 20 years. He did the Delta course at IH London in 2012 and has been a teacher trainer and course designer since then. He's currently doing his MA in TEFL at Birmingham University. He also has project management certificates by FGV and INSPER. He runs Julio Vieitas Consultoria Educacional, has 16 solutions courses aimed for teachers and managers and writers, and writes articles for Blog Dizal and Richmond Chair. He is deeply interested in the interplay between educational management, course design, and methods approaches in the TEFL context. Oh my God.
That's right.
Have I said everything?
Sorry about that.
Okay. Well, Julio, please, the stage.
Sorry about that.
That's all right. That's all right. Wonderful, wonderful resume, by the way.
Well, Julio.
Would you like to talk to people? Say hi.
That's all right. Hello everyone.
Would you like to talk to people? Julio.
Again.
Yeah, I'm listening to your audio. Okay.
I think we have a Julio.
Yeah, no, I can hear you perfectly now. I think you just have to mute your microphone from time to time so that there is no return.
Yeah. So,
can you hear me well now?
I will.
Great. So thank you all for being here. Thank you for having me here, Rodrigo, and thank you so much for the opportunity. And we thought about this live of being really focused on the community, so allowing the community to ask us questions about teacherpreneurship and how to, create your business in the ELT community in such a way that you can deliver high quality solutions to the general audience and in tandem make some profit and add to your quality of life. And I'm sure that there are some people, Vitor Castello is there, Deborah is there. So feel free to ask us as many questions as possible. And I'm with my partner here, my partner in life, my partner in business. And we
partner
are
in crime as well.
as well. And we're chuffed to bits to answer to any questions that may possibly ask us.
Yeah, wonderful. This is the idea. So please, guys, if you want to start throwing questions to Julio and Erica, they will be more than welcome to answer. But I want to kick off with a question because, Julio, I think most of us kind of start our teaching career, basically, not everybody, but most of us start like doing the teaching thing as a part-time job to make just to make ends meet. And normally when we start, we are not exactly sure about what to do, how to approach things, and etc. How was the process for you? How did you start, and how did you decide to move from to your own career, to start your own business? How was this process for us? Can you just give us an overview?
About you, yeah. Well, actually, it's a long story. I'll try to make it as short as possible. But actually, it started with my younger version trying to find quality of life while being a professional. So I started as a teacher, and I had my own school. I started my school when I was 23 years old. I had this school by the end of 2008. I decided to move to São Paulo. That's where I started working massively with business people. I had business clients before, but nothing in comparison. And then after a while, I became a coordinator. I worked for Centro Britânico, for the British Council. At the British Council, I started working with projects, which in a way, it was paramount to me, the importance of management in the educational process. And I got these lessons, most of my lessons, from the British Council and Centro Britânico, where I worked as an academic manager. So then I decided to open my own firm, focused on training teachers how to manage their business in such a way that they can be successful, they can make money, they can be happy, and they can thrive both in personal and professional life.
Amazing, amazing. How about you, Erica? What is your story?
Well, I believe that as many of us, I kind of just became a teacher because it was offered to me. I had never thought about being a teacher before. I thought that I didn't have any talent for that. And then I started, but then I got to the point of my life that I was working a lot, but I didn't have the quality of life I wanted, which is kind of common scenario. And then I started thinking about the other skills that I had, the other things that I knew how to do besides teaching. And that was when I decided to start designing websites and blogs for other people. And this is something that I really liked because Julio always says that I have this design eye, that I can see if it's okay or if it's not. And I really liked creating things. I loved it. But I couldn't do that for myself. So I decided to do that for other people. And it worked. And for 10 years already, I think I have been doing this. And when I started working with Julio, we noticed that inside the community, this kind of designing things, branding, visual identity, it's not something that people know how to do because it's not part of our life as a teacher. And then we noticed that there was this gap that teachers needed kind of help with designing their things, with putting their job, their business online. And I know how to create websites. And Julio was like, but you never told me that you know how to put websites on. And I do. And that was not something that was common. So that's why I decided to put things together and start working more with design for teachers, with visual identity for teachers. That is a very important part of business. And when we work for schools, every school has a department that works with that. But when we work for ourselves, we have to do things alone. And sometimes we just don't know how to do that. And that's why I'm here.
Yeah, wonderful. And it's quite interesting because we actually have two completely different perspectives when you start this endeavor. You have the teaching part, which is like how to develop your teaching, how to develop your skills, and etc. Develop professionally so you can sell better, like yourself as a teacher. But there is also this promotion thing, this marketing thing, that if you don't have any kind of assistance, any kind of help, you might not be that successful, because you might not find the better way to sell yourself. It's not only about having the skills, but how to sell those skills to your audience, right?
Yes.
I'm so glad you asked this question, Rodrigo, because when you think about marketing, most people think about promotion. Most people think about selling. And one of the things I've been doing massively at Julio Vieitas Consultoria is to show people that marketing is a connection to the market. It's not only selling for the sake of selling, but trying to understand your market, trying to understand the needs of your market. And we are specialists. We can create solutions, but I'm not talking about one-size-fits-all solutions. I'm talking about solutions that are designed for specific needs. And this is marketing as a whole. Understand your market. Establish, build rapport with your market, connect with your market, be partners with your market. And this is the best marketing ever. So, and when you have that, I mean, from the inside out, I would say that that's when you really start becoming successful in the field. And that's possible. I'm not better than anyone. I'm just using 3 or 4 techniques that most people are not using. And Erica has touched a very important point. I mean, if you don't have a good design, if you don't know how to show yourself to the universe through the right colors of the internet, through the right communication, no one is going to pay attention to you.
Of course, yeah, I agree completely. And we already have some questions here. First, Stephen Hughes, he's saying that he really enjoyed listening to your stories. It was an inspiration. But he's asking, do you think that is good to think for us to ask ourselves, what are our other skills apart from teaching? That way we can discover areas for us to go into, right? So what do you think of that? And then you can market yourself one-to-one. Right?
Yeah, I do think that when we are teachers, teaching is not the only thing that we know how to do. And nowadays, more and more people don't want English lessons. They want something more. And so, for example, as I work with design, if I have a student that works with design, there is something that we can help each other to do. Julio has a student that, how long has him?
4 years.
4 years now that they are working together. And this student works with sales.
I see.
So every time that they have a session that was supposed to be a lesson, they kind of show each other what they do in their everyday jobs and how they can improve it. So Julio is always asking him about his strategies, if he's going in the right direction. And his student is also always sharing with him his experience. He's kind of an expert in the sales of marketing, the sales in the area of sales. So this is something that is nice, because there are other things that you can do besides teaching that can help your teaching.
Of course.
Curiosity, be curious about your students' area and be ready to learn something new. The more we learn about our students' background, about our students' everyday struggles, just to mention a few things, help to build this connection between student and teacher. But going now to, I would say, a more entrepreneurial point of view, I would say personal branding is something that teachers really, really ought to focus on. It's very important that we show that we have, as a personality, that we are ready to be successful and we are not afraid to be successful. And many teachers, they are afraid to charge more than an X number for the classes because they think they're wrong. It's funny, sometimes the word profit is a devilish word in our market. So be ready to be successful. Tell yourself you can be successful as well. Don't limit yourself to the salary you have. And the right mindset. So many teachers, they are making like 50, 60 reais the hour, when by just like implementing 3 or 4 strategies, they could be making 100, 120, but they need to be ready to embrace the new. And many teachers, they are very traditional. They don't like that, but they don't like to embrace new technologies, new strategies. And it's funny because sometimes when I say marketing, they think I'm talking about Mairo Vergara. And no, just one person. There are many cases of success in our field.
It's interesting because sometimes I feel like people have this kind of bad idea about marketing. It's like, oh, but I feel bad doing it. And I think you shouldn't, because some people are really good. They are really good. And what we do is we don't teach only a language, but for many people, we give them better opportunities. So what we do is good, and more people should know about it. And then sometimes people are paying attention to other people that are not that good, that are not selling good things, but it is what they know because they use marketing to be known. And then sometimes you do an amazing job. You are a great teacher. You are qualified. You have many certificates and courses, and you really know what you're doing. And you only don't have more students because people don't know that you exist.
Yes.
And that's what marketing does. It creates this bridge between you and the market.
And it's quite simpler than it shows, right? People think it's way too complicated. But I believe that being afraid of advertising or going to your market might prevent them from doing the right thing. And then I agree with what Stefan just said. We don't apply the advice that we normally give to our students.
That's right. That's right. That's right. So being brave, I would say it's a very important trait for teachers. Be brave enough to launch your new services. Be brave enough to carve your niche. Be brave enough to set adequate prices for your sessions, for your services. Be brave. And that's what we tell students all the time. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. It's part of the process. But when teachers need to accept challenges, they just like want to be secluded in the shells and do exactly what they've been doing for 10 years, but they expect to have different results. That's not going to happen.
Yes. Deborah is saying that we teachers do find it difficult to charge, even when we know we are doing a good job. So coming back to what Erica was saying, and you were saying, what can we do then? Like, I feel that I have been doing this. I have been teaching private lessons for quite a while, but I know that I could make more money, but I don't know exactly what to do. So what is the first thing I should do? How can I start like rethinking this?
Well, to start with, try thinking that you're not selling classes, you're not selling lessons, you're not selling hours, you're selling solutions. And then you should break down those solutions into deliverables. And when you show an offer to your client, your student, you show that in exchange for those solutions, I'm gonna need this investment here. This is one step. You may have students who are ready to pay a budget, I would say price, students who are ready to pay a premium price, and students who are going to be in between those two. So a pricing column helps a lot for you to convert more sales. So if a student is more prepared for a premium service, he's going to choose the premium column in your services. Thirdly, I'll think about your clients. Maybe you're so used to the clients you have that you believe it's not possible to charge more. Try to find a new market. Try to find a new group of students. So if you're teaching in the countryside, try to get students from big capitals such as São Paulo, Rio de Janeiro, Belo Horizonte, Porto Alegre, etc. So I know that there are many students, they are ready to pay more to get better services. And I say better services not only in terms of quality, but in terms of range of services you can offer them. So there is a myriad of possibilities here, but we have to take into account the teacher's profile, what he does right now, his background, what he's ready to embrace, and the things that this teacher can offer to the market, the services this teacher can offer to the market. We know that exams is a huge market. Business English is a huge market. So there are many things this teacher can do with different segments of the market, with different sales proposals that can maximize their sales.
Yeah, I think it's a question of understanding yourself not only as a teacher per se, but as a consultant sometimes.
Oh yeah.
I remember long time ago, I helped an executive from from an insurance company. He was going to do a kind of a presentation, a sales presentation or something like that in Mexico, and he was terrified about that. So it was not, I was not teaching him English. I was like helping him being more confident and comfortable with what he was going to do. So I think that the difficulty here is to stop thinking about selling hours, as you said, or selling classes, and selling solutions, like understanding what the student actually needs and giving him one plausible solution, and then the price is irrelevant sometimes.
But then you have to make that, you have to transform this practice into a proposal. And maybe you can propose this sort of good practice to the market. So when I sell my services, for example, I don't talk about English classes. I don't talk about, you're going to learn this grammar or this or this or this. I'm going to teach you how to make better presentations in English in such a way that you can sell more, you can make more money, you can have more life quality. So this is what I sell. So what's the price of speaking English confidently? What's the price of speaking English and having as a result more life quality, more opportunities? I mean, it's priceless. Yes. But if I tell my client, I'm going to sell you 5 hours of English classes, he can easily go to the market, compare my prices, and then anchor my price as cheap or expensive.
Yes.
So I would say that the key is communication. Because finding English teachers is quite easy, and everybody's offering the same thing. So what differs 1 hour with you and 1 hour with a different teacher? Nothing. If what you're selling is English lessons.
Yeah.
So the thing is, what I feel like is that people don't know how to communicate with the clients in such a way that they notice the value of things, not the price. And that's when I feel the teachers have this problem of how am I going to charge what I want to charge if it's English lessons? And then that's when we say, if you are selling English lessons, that's going to be hard to sell. But if you are selling quality of life, if you are selling assertiveness, if you are selling that through your lessons, they will achieve their goals, now that's a different thing.
And then you have to sell the means to those goals.
Yes.
That's a secret I have here.
Sorry, I'm thinking now because, to be honest, I don't teach private lessons for quite a while now. But I'm thinking, like, you were talking about communication, and then if a student comes to me, I see myself like saying, well, we can do this like 2-3 times a week, and I'm going to charge you something like that. So this is kind of the opposite of what we should do. Maybe I was thinking now about writing a business proposal.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
right?
Now we're talking.
Explaining what the student aims are, what I can offer the student so he or she can achieve those goals, and then the price of the service, something like that.
Yeah, the investment. So you have 2 different routes here. You may think of an individual student who approaches you, and then you have to engage in a consultative sales. So you first understand the needs, then you design a course for this student. You make a proposal, a sales proposal, a presentation per se, with cover and briefing.
And then please make sure your design is good, that your visual identity is nice.
Be careful with the presentation.
because this is important. Many people, they kind of assume that it doesn't matter the fonts you are using, doesn't matter the colors, but they do.
They do.
The images that you are going to use, they all mean something. And most of the times it's unconscious. It's not something that we look and we know what's going on. It's more in an unconscious level. And that's something that we need to pay attention.
And that's interesting, Rodrigo. I mean, bear in mind what Erica just mentioned. There is something called consistency. If we say we have quality, quality should permeate everything in our services, from the way we speak, the way we present ourselves, the way we show our business presentation, which is a proposal to our prospect, hopefully a new client. And in this proposal, and I create one in PDF, and I have a meeting with this student, there you can find my pricing column. The thing is, this process may take 1 or 2 or 3 days, max tops 3 days. But I don't sell my services to every client. If the client is only interested in price, he's not my prospect. I don't want this type of person. So it's very important in your entrepreneurship to understand who is your ideal client, and then you fight for that client. And the others who are not, I mean, they are not your goal.
Okay.
You are not going to sell to everybody.
Yes.
And that's okay. That's how it should be.
No, yeah, and
if you try to sell to everybody, you end up selling to no one.
You don't communicate, you don't touch anyone.
And then I start thinking about a question that I saw recently on Vrelt about people. Somebody asked about like recommending other teachers. Would that be competition or not, and etc. But then admitting that that particular client is not your client, but understanding, or if you have, or if you know someone that can help that guy, this is also serving that client. Okay, I am not the person for you, but I have someone who can help you. So this is also like doing a good, you are not exactly competing, so you are providing for your community. You are helping the students, so you are somehow being a good consultant, a good...
And by the way, competition is great. I don't think competition is bad. If we don't have competition, we may end up subconsciously getting to a comfort zone that we may linger there forever.
Sure.
So competition is great. I love competition. What you should be really careful about is ethical behavior and etc. This is something you should be constantly worried about. But competition is great.
Yeah, of course. And then I want to come back to Stefan again. Deborah said that totally agrees with Erica, but then Stefan asked 2 questions, but I want to invert the second one because it's more connected to what Erica was talking 2 minutes ago. How can we learn more about visual identity, color, fonts, and etc.? So if I want to do that, Erica, where should I start?
Well, actually, I'm thinking about creating a course for that because I know how this is complicated. It took me many years to really come up with good designs. And one thing that I always tell people is that it is learnable. And your first designs are going to be terrible.
And it's okay.
And it's okay. So my first designs were cringing. And nowadays I know that I have improved. So design is something that you learn mostly by observing. So one thing that I did when I was learning, I would take a look at the designs of the blogs that I found beautiful. And I tried reproducing them to understand what elements were used to end up in that result. So I would learn how the colors would fit together, which colors they used, which kind of images they used, what were the formats, if it was PNG and other formats, and then I would try to do the same. Fortunately, on the internet, you can find a lot of materials to help designers. Again, it's not specific for teachers, And that is something that I would like to provide, because Julio and I, we understand how it is being a teacher, and we know what students look for.
Yeah,
so we understand the market.
I would love to attend one of those.
Yeah, what I normally do.
Yeah,
what I normally do that is sorry.
No, it's okay. Sorry.
What I normally do that is quite important is the psychology of colors. You find loads of literature talking about it. Every color activates a different part of the brain, so that it gives people feelings, and they feel something when we see the colors. And that's one of the reasons why Burger King, McDonald's, Coke, they always use red. I don't know if you have ever noticed that. But they use red because red is the color of hungry, of feeling thirsty. It's this feeling that we get when we see red.
Okay. Yeah,
the psychology of colors is one important part.
And we should not be afraid then to change, right? Because you said, well, the first designs are probably going to be not okay. And then when you learn new techniques, or when you learn about how to optimize the use of colors and etc., you should not be afraid of changing. Like, so.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
Oh yeah, right? Oh, yeah. And then something I'd like to add. Sometimes teachers think, oh, this logo is beautiful, or these graphics are great, or my website is fantastic. The same way they say, my class is great, my lessons are amazing, etc. But from a marketing point of view, the opinion that matters is the opinion from the market. Yeah. So your students, your clients, your prospects, they are the ones who should be mesmerized by everything you do. So again, the connection with the market. Be friends with your market and get input from the market, and use this input for new transformations in your teacherpreneurship.
Yeah, sometimes I get clients and they ask me, oh, I want a logo, I want to design with these colors. And then I ask them, okay, but why these colors? And they tell me, oh, those are my favorite colors. And I'm like, okay, but that's not going to work. Yeah. So we have to think about who your audience, who your audience is, and what feels better for them. Because sometimes we want to target the A group, and we end up targeting the B group, and then we don't understand what's going on. So not only the colors, but also the fonts, they also give different impressions. And there is one, there was a very good post that I saw. I follow many design pages on Facebook, and that's something good to do, because then you get insights on design. And one was, there were 2 notes with the same message, which was, you will always be mine. It's the same message, nothing different. But the first one had a romantic style of font, and the second one, it was like a brush or something that, like,
it was creepy.
You painted with your fingers, something like that. And it was red. Both of them were red. But the first one gave this romantic idea. It was like a Valentine's card. But the second one, it was creepy. It felt like there was a serial killer sending me a message. And the only difference was the font.
I see.
So not the color, not even the message. Then the paper note was, they were exactly the same. The only difference was the font. And that is something that I use to show my clients. Maybe you think a specific font is beautiful, but what's the message? What's the style? What's the idea that it shows?
I see.
That is something that we have to be careful.
Yeah, it is. When I listen to you saying that, I think of myself, because I spend hours like watching videos and digging through websites and etc. about design, logo, animations, and etc. because of the blog, because of the YouTube channel, and I particularly enjoy that. Like, I spend sometimes hours and hours and hours like looking through those things. But yeah, we don't always think about how the market is going to see it. We most of the times tend to do it based on our personal tastes, right? I have a question here again from Stefan. He's asking, is the term teacherpreneur overblown, or does it really exist?
Oh, right, okay. So this term does exist, and I think it's underused, to be honest with you. And why? The number of teachers who really see what they do as a business, I mean, it's not something very popular, it's not something we see everywhere. More often than not, people start teaching private classes because they're not so happy with their schools. Slowly, they end up teaching more private classes than teaching at schools because they make more money. But then, it's also, there is more insecurity. And that's the beauty of thing, because if there was stability everywhere, we'd like be born poor and die poor. So instability is great, but you have to know how to use instability. And teacherpreneurship, or being a teacherpreneur, allows you to break through this barrier that many teachers are jailed inside. So the term teacherpreneur is my favorite term because it allows people to reflect, how can I have more life quality? How can I start really changing my life positively? And by being an entrepreneur, or an entrepreneur in education, which means a teacherpreneur, really allows you to do that.
I see. Okay.
So something I really believe. It's not only a marketing, I truly believe. And I have many examples of people who were like making peanuts and they were not happy. They were like, disgraceful. They were like trying to leave education forever. And by using some techniques, now they are making more money. They are happier. They are not depressed anymore. They are hopeful for the future. They are enthusiastic about teaching. And that's what matters most.
Okay, so how can Julio Vieitas Consultoria can help a teacher who is in that process? Like, okay, I'm not happy in the school. I'm not happy teaching private either because I'm not making money neither here nor there. How can you help this teacher who wants to do something with his or her career? How can
you do that? Well,
how can you do that?
Yeah, we have many different solutions and approaches. So most of our clients, I mean, if I look at the terminology, they're not our clients because they're not paying for our services. Every week, I talk to people for free and I give them advice on how they can get ahead in their career, how they can use different pricing strategies, different marketing strategies. So really and truly, every week I talk to people. So if you're there listening to us, do contact me. So find me on Facebook, send me a message on chat, let's schedule a meeting. And we have lots of paid solutions. We have mentoring programs, we have different courses. There is a mastermind group starting next month, which is amazing. The level of feedback I got from this course, I mean, really, it really touched me to see how much one single solution can change so many lives positively. So there are many things we can do, and Erica is here by myself doing the same.
There was a 12-minute video feedback on this mastermind course.
Wow.
Yeah.
12 minutes of video with feedback. That was amazing. I had never seen it before.
Yeah.
And the kind of thing that people can count on me to help is that I have this design thing. So I can help people on how you can do it, which aspects could be worked on. Julio and I, we have been designing websites now because we know that you can hire designers for that. It doesn't have to be so specific. But what we have to offer that is different is that we know what teachers go through. Okay. And I was talking to a teacher on WhatsApp recently, and she told me this, like, I feel blessed that we've met because you know how difficult it can be. And you have already been through this process. And so we understand the needs of teachers. And that's why we thought of creating these solutions that you can find in the market, but you can't find specifically for the needs of teachers.
And sometimes we don't know who is happier, the client or us, because we really celebrate when a client really, I mean, becomes successful. And it doesn't matter how much money he wants to make. It doesn't matter where he wants to go. But we are there, you know, all the time supporting and really cheering for the teachers we attend. Might be for free, might be paid. I mean, it's funny because it might be selfish, but we are happy to know that our existence here has a purpose.
And many of our clients are now friends.
Yes, that's right.
Some of them have even been here on this very sofa, you know,
talking to us and drinking beer with us.
Yes,
of course. But I think that this is what makes us teachers, because we are happy when we see our students succeed, when we see our students like getting their certificates, getting their new positions in their job. So we feel that. So this is what is more amazing about what you guys do, because this is like helping peers achieving their dreams, and this is quite amazing. Yeah.
And it's funny because sometimes we feel while they're achieving their goals, they are fulfilling their dreams. We are fulfilling ours.
Yes.
It's funny, isn't it?
Amazing.
And I always tell, because I have been working more with women now, and I always tell them, girl, you have to find the purpose for what you do. And if you think like, oh, I sell makeup, no, that's not what we do. What's the reason that your job, your business exists?
I see.
Why you're doing what you do?
Just to clarify, it's because Erica has another niche. So she also helps women from different segments of the market, not only education. So, yes. So can you tell him more about that?
Yeah, it's because not only teachers have this sort of challenges, but every person that wants to work for, to be their own boss, they are going to face this kind of problems. So then I have seen for many years girls that want to be, that want to work with professional makeup, or that they want to sell clothes and accessories, and they don't know where to start, and they don't know anything about how to set up a business. And something that Julio says that I do believe in as well is that the market screams for what it needs.
Well, then, we are definitely going to talk more about that. We here at Talking FL, we have something going on, and then I will talk to you later on about that. We are going to share some ideas, and then I will definitely want to talk about that with you. It's wonderful what you do, Erica. Really,
thank
really.
You. Thank you. Really.
And then I am looking at the comments here. Deborah saying Mastermind was great. And then Stefan saying that he would love to hear more about the mentoring program.
Mentoring.
The mentoring, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So the mentoring program starts just like a teacher approaches me, and the teacher approaches me with some problems, and I have to figure out what are the potential solutions for those problems. So we negotiate, I'll talk about the main solutions I suggest. And since we agree on those solutions, we start the mentoring program, which is deeply focused on execution. So for example, we may understand that this teacher really needs to improve his or her personal branding. So we're going to work on elements, strategic elements of personal branding, and we're going to try to insert those elements in his or her life. We may understand that the sales could be better, so then I'm going to provide this teacher with sales training in such a way that he can have more sales conversion. We may understand that the marketing in terms of promotion could be better, and then I train this teacher, and then he or she executes, and I supervise the whole process in such a way that after 3, 6, or 8 months, the most complex cases are 8 months, but most of them are 6 months, we end up with fantastic results. I had teachers making 3 times more money as before.
Wow.
Before 3 times, it's a lot of money. I have a client from the deep countryside of Brazil who is now studying methodology in the UK, paying for everything with his own money. From new students, he got during the mentoring program. So it varies a lot in terms of the teacher's objective, the teacher's goals, the teacher's background, and the solutions we may possibly offer these ELT professional.
Wonderful. I am going to, after that, you can send me the links for the Mastermind group, because I want to put them here on the video, so when people access the video afterwards, they can check them out. Stefan was asking, he was saying sorry for that many questions, and I say, no, we love the questions.
We are here for the questions.
Yeah, I think I'm going to invite Stefan for all the sessions from now on. And then he asked another one, Erica. You were talking about design before. And he was asking if you have any suggestions about websites that they can start looking at.
Let me see. When we talk about psychology of colors, I believe the best one is Neil Patel. He's an Indian marketing guru, and he works a lot with the psychology of colors. So it's Neil, I don't know if that's how it's pronounced, Neil Patel, and he's one of the people that I follow. I'm not pretty sure what else.
Marie Forleo? Marie Forleo?
Marie Forleo. Yeah, it's because Marie Forleo, she doesn't work with design. But something that we always recommend people taking a look at this particular website, not because she is a designer, but because the concepts of what we teach our clients are there. She is a mentor, a coach, lifestyle coach. Her name is Marie Forleo. And I can send you the link to her website. And her website, the way it is built, it's amazing. Like, she works her personal branding. She took it to the next level.
Yeah, it's flawless.
And she has all the marketing aspects that we believe design should have. So what I do believe in is that it doesn't matter if it's beautiful. It doesn't have to be only beautiful. It needs to be efficient. So we have to combine, we have to mix marketing and design in such a way that your website's not only beautiful, but it also helps you to have more students, to convey the message that you need to convey.
Okay.
So Marie Forleo is another website that people should take a look at. And other than that, I follow other Brazilian designers, especially the Unique Studio.
Okay.
And the X-Cake, that we say in Portuguese, cheesecake.
Cheesecake.
Yes.
Okay.
And both of them are Brazilian. And both the Unique and Cheesecake, they are run by two different couples. And a lot of times they create content with design tips, and I do like their job.
Wonderful, wonderful. Just for us to kind of starting summing this up, let's try to put everything that we discussed here, right? We started talking about how can the teacher understand himself or herself as a teacher first, and then what kind of solutions he or she can provide to the market, finding their niche. Okay, so maybe this is one thing that we need some help the most, because we might know or might understand that we are good teachers, but understanding what exactly, what group of students we can exactly help, this might not be that simple to recognize, and having an outsider look might be of great help.
Can I just add something to that, Rodrigo?
Of course.
When you do Faculdade de Letras, when you do especialização in linguística aplicada or second language acquisition, or when you do masters, it's funny, we don't have one single class about entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
One.
That's right.
One. So teachers are not really, they don't have any opportunities in their educational background to be exposed to strategies and techniques to be entrepreneurs. So they are indeed, I mean, very lost in the market if they don't have this sort of, I would say, partnership or association or contact with people who are in the field. We are not the only one. We are not the gurus. There are other people out there, but I can promise that we do what you do with lots of passion, lots of professionalism, and lots of love. We really love what you do, and we believe in what you do.
And that's why you have been so successful so far. Well, do you? I would like you to start finishing this by giving people watching us now, people who are going to watch us later on, a message, because we are in the beginning of the year, that moment where we have been thinking about like new plans, new strategies, new perspectives for the new year. So I would like you guys to give these guys a message, people watching us.
Well, I would say that, and I was talking about it on my Instagram yesterday, that we need to know that what we are doing is the best that we could do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And for that, sometimes we lack guidance and we don't know where we should go to have this kind of help. And sometimes people are quite afraid of investing in things like what the solutions that we provide. And what I tell people is that investing in yourself is the best thing that you can do for your business. Mm-hmm. Because we don't have time, we don't have money to waste on things that are not going to be good for you. Mm-hmm. And mm-hmm. I don't know you, but I don't. So we can't just waste another year not doing what we have to do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it's not that you are going to waste your time or waste your money on things that are not going to give you the results you were looking for. Mm-hmm. So I would say that sometimes we have to not only invest in the business per se, but invest in ourselves.
Yes.
So that you guarantee that you know what you're doing. And we do that as teachers. We normally do that in the teaching area. So we take courses, we go to events, we get certificates, and that's what we were supposed to do because we are developing ourselves. But when you are an entrepreneur, a teacherpreneur, not only teaching is now your life, you have now other aspects to take care of. Mm-hmm. In the same way that you develop your teaching, you should develop everything else that you need to be a successful teacherpreneur.
Yes, outside of all, believe in yourself. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. You're going to make mistakes. I make mistakes. I've made many mistakes. And mistakes, depending on the way you see your mistakes, they are exactly what you need to be stronger and learn from your mistakes and create a better version of yourself. So keep trying. If it doesn't work, try to pinpoint why it didn't work and try again. And if you need any help, if you need a friend to talk to, someone to give you support, you can definitely count on us. And just be yourself and keep fighting the good fight, and be persistent, be resilient, and don't ever be insecure about yourself.
Wonderful, Julio. Wonderful. Julio and Erica, well, that was brilliant. I was...
Sorry.
Okay.
I just say that when Julio says that you should believe in yourself, I have to say this. Julio was the first person to tell me that I was good at something.
Oh.
No, but this is kind of interesting because sometimes we don't realize that we don't cheer people up, that we don't tell them that they are good, that they can do it. And Julio was the first person to tell me that.
Yeah.
So when he is saying this, like, oh, you should believe in yourself, one of the reasons that made him start his business, it was because that was what he had already been doing
You're making me shy.
For quite some time.
You're making me shy. Let's
helping teachers, helping coordinators. So now he's just doing what he has already done.
I really like that. I really like that.
Yeah. Stephanie is just adding here mistakes that are low to medium risk, right? Because I understand what he's saying. You're not saying anybody to be crazy and like.
No. But usually teachers' initiatives, they are more related to their emotional reaction than the financial reaction. So what if I film myself giving a tip in English? What if I look ugly on the video? What if? I mean, those are emotional things. So don't give a damn about those things and just do it. Just do it.
Yes.
And you're going to notice that there's a huge community ready to embrace you, to applaud you, and to give you support to achieve your goals.
Yeah, that's, I think, is one of our treasures. Like, this community is really something particular, different, because we do care for what our peers are doing. We do care for helping each other. So this is something really, really nice.
There are haters. There are haters everywhere.
Of course.
Don't give a damn about them. Don't pay attention to them. Get away from negativity and connect with people that have the same vibration as you. The vibration to get ahead. This is mindset, isn't it? So
yeah,
right mindset for you.
And this is what we are doing here. This is what Julio Vieitas does. Consultoria does. This is what Talking FL does, like opening space for discussions. I cannot be more thankful than I am now for having you guys here. This was the best way to start the year for us.
Oh,
we're also thankful that you invited us to be here. Thank you.
Because one of our main goals is like to open space to people to listen to things like that, to share experiences, to have a voice, actually, to say things, to listen to things. And when we listen to people like you guys, people who have already had an experience and is now people that are now helping other teachers like being successful, maybe we trigger, we find that sparkle something in our peers, so they can start a new year doing something different, or maybe starting putting their plans in action.
Exactly, making it happen.
It happen, yes.
And that's why we're here, to make things happen. And not here to complain. You're not here to rant. You're not here to procrastinate. We're here to make things happen, especially things that may influence, that may inspire our students, teachers, the whole community. That's happiness, isn't it?
Yes. And I'm really, really happy that I had you guys here today with me, with Talking FL. Thank you for everybody who was here, Professora Débora, Stefan, Vitor. There was something else making comments. I don't want to miss anybody here. Yasmini.
Oh, Yasmini.
Yeah, okay. And of course, you guys. I wish you a wonderful 2019.
For you too.
You too.
And well, we are going to see each other quite soon, I believe, I hope. And yeah. And then, Erica, will be talking to you about those things that you're doing with the girls, and we're going to talk more about that later on. Okay, so thank you, guys. Thank you very much for being here with us.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Cheers.
you.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.